Hi there, this is Bernie May here at Connections Consulting, and I'm just sitting in front of Original Malt, ready to wind up my Friday here. Go visit my mother this weekend for a couple hours. Hello, Mom. How are you doing? This tribute video of our business system I'm mentioning in honor of you. And why wouldn't you mention your mom once in a while? Hey, folks, the lady who brought you into this earth. And, our theme here, in these few videos here, and it's our overall agriculture food mention, is farm to earth. And appropriately, at the end of my week, I'm sitting in front of Origin Malt, rather. I like Original Joe's too. And here we are at the front end. You can see Kyle, I mentioned, is one of my friends often in some of these videos. And if you go in the front door there, carefully, don't trip. You're looking around at the nice environment. You walk in, and to your right are the business offices. And Kyle is often on hand, and he'll take a minute and say hello to you. He's kind of the manager, owner, part owner of this place. Well, he is, him and his wife. And anyways, there's formal tours, but this week there was some upgrades needed to some of the systems in the kiln and the tanks and stuff. So Kyle and I had a talk, and I just decided I'll just, like usual, shoot my own video here. But he's a good guy. I've known Kyle for about 7 years, and you can meet him. And then he'll tell you when the tours are. He'll take probably a minute or two and even mention what's going on. But these guys, they want their customers coming back. So you'll see in there, in the back area, after you see the offices, to the right of that are the tanks and the kiln, the burner unit where they feed the source in. And it's, often called malt, but it's actually barley when it originates from the field I showed you on the crop tour video, and various fields that we talk about in this area. There's many crops: durum, wheat, barley, rye, and lots of canola. Anyways, people like to wind up their week here and have a beer, the microcraft, and they'll show you the kinds. They got, once they, if you want to see the process, it's optional. You don't have to. They sprout it and they separate some of the dirt and weeds that might come in. So you get a nice, good, clean barley beer. And then, the sprouting process takes place. The protein enzyme level gets to the right factor for a good tasting beer. And then after, I think it's like a day and a half in the heating unit, it's ready to become a malt bag, and they pour it into their own tank for their own beer here. But these guys also market bags of malt, the actual refined brewing pot barley beer when it's ready, to many places around North America now. These breweries, there's like 75 plus in Alberta at least now, probably pushing up to 100 upwards towards that. So when you're my customer at CCI, this is Batman Bernie May here, we're taking you here first. When you come into town and you're going to see us, I suppose, we want to know what your training needs are. So the outcome is from a good first discussion often, or we touch base, year after year in a social way. It's just good business. But you want to know us for a half a day or something and you see what we do here. So this is part of our way and our system, I suppose. Come have a beer or two. They have non-alcoholic beverages. Once you come past the elevator section and brewing section, the tank and the kiln and all that, you'll see the front desk, and you go and sort of say hello. And, it's mention my name if you want. But anyways, I'm going to be meeting you, so I'll be there. And then one of the ladies there, especially the girls that are working there, some of them are family that are owners. Some of them are owners like friends that work there. Just good people, hey? They care about what you're doing and what you want, and they'll guide you through the list. They usually have about 12. And Kyle and I have known each other about 7 years. He's an old MBA business guy like me, kind of, except he went the bull riding business section. I went to the the inspirational speaking humanitarian kind of MBA style in my training, but he was down in the States and got back here. And anyways, married Malaya. So now when you go up to the front desk, you can order, and I knew him from before. He worked grain trading with the C-Can containers originating from southern Alberta with Chris and Gene and some of those guys I worked with from almost 30 years ago now. I'm a longtime ag vet guy, as you know. Anyways, so then you go in and you look at your beer section and you'll see the alcohol levels. There's some non-alcohol in one. There's a root beer. So if you're not a drinker, that class is there. You can order a soda like Pepsi or something as well. And sit with your group, drive them home, especially if you're staying for more than one or two. And all that. I'm not going to tell you all that. It's been a long time educational program and all that. But you're my customer, maybe coming in from Korea or wherever, Europe. You're going to probably meet me here. We'll have one or two talk for an hour or maybe two. And then after you order your beer, it shows the alcohol level, the IBU for the bitterns and the hops. So you know what kind of flavor it gives you. There's some names that are similar, but it gives you different levels. You can choose your own joy, I suppose. So that's good. And then you walk out through, there's a seating area, or you can go out on the patio deck. They got those nice Napa Valley Bay flowers, and I suggest like vines, so you can kind of sit back leisurely and, not really hide, but you're under the umbrella for your care from too much sun or not enough in the shade, I guess, whatever you want there. And then you walk into the back and there's a food truck and outtakes. It's one of those big wagons. I really recommend their fish and chips. This is one of the finest places for fish and chips in the country. And it's good, eh? It's just good food that way. That's the specialty dish I like to order. You order that if you want. Whatever, it's your choice. They got probably 15 menu items there you can choose from, but that's the one I recommend here. It's done with joy and lots of just good get to know you and feed you the best fish and chips kind of style when you're out in the deck kind of barbecue atmosphere of the sun. So there you go from there. And lots of people coming and going. It's the end of the day here. It's 5 on Friday, TGIF, But, and I'm still working. I kind of thought I might take a lot of today off. But anyways, here I am. So then you can stand in the back, and if Kyle has a minute, he'll stand with you. We would have been doing that, but yesterday, we had a meeting for a minute, and that, there's other things. You just got to go with it, right? So in the back, you'll see where the actual raw product comes in when it's first initiated here into the yard, and right past, you can view that. There is some parking in the back, I suppose, but, you just go out back, catch some breath, and see where the barley goes in, order your food, have a beer, and then after we're done here, I suppose we're gonna go down to the golf course. Maybe it depends on your schedule too, but the banquet, of course, where I launched my product showcase of services, CCI, in the formative stage in March of 2017, and we'll have a banquet. If you want to take the longer version, and that'll be the full meal, we'll go golfing. There's a good 27 holes here right in town, local good golfing, and if you got to rush back to the airport, we can have the quick approach hot dog hamburger at the golf course. I care. Family, get home. Mama's happy, kids need, you've been gone all week probably on business from Europe or even Eastern Canada or the US, right? Wherever. And Australia, Scandinavia, doesn't matter. We're global here. Doing business that way, and this is our system, right? So anyways, the other option was a quick coffee and donut at Rocky's Bakery. I like that. or even some ribs or soup, I suppose, at Original Joe's. Those are some of the sort of quick end of things. If we're going to have a sit-down meal that's shorter version other than the big banquet at the station, I'd recommend we go for pizza at Mike's, or, head over to the Oriental Buffet for Chinese, or what would be the other option? I guess PJ's for a good BLT and fries. It's like one of the finest in Greater Calgary that I've found, and I didn't even advertise it, but here it is. So then we'll go do that. And, when you come and meet and we have a sit down here, that'll be our business. We'll discuss your training needs. And we do 4 things. We're mainly special event in, leadership, I suppose, customer service mainly, and a lot of sales management. That's a big deal. But purpose is our fine forte that gets you celebrating in your heart, standing when the rocks get hard and the hurricane blows and you can keep doing your business, right? And we're in tough times. We all know that, this COVID market. So coming out of that, pushing forward. But we want to do that with you. And one thing about purpose, I haven't promoted it a whole lot, but purpose, some people say it defines who you are. Well, whatever. We all don't need a thing around our shoulders saying who we are. We got a name, and people meet us. I mean, it kind of helps to not be wishy-washy, but purpose gives you drive and focus in the big picture when times get hard. So that's why we are putting it out in the forefront and like to more often going forward here. So that's that. And, so when our meeting's done, after we kind of touch on what you want to do, well, then we'll determine the next steps before you head off to the airport. But in the middle of all that, between coming here to the Microcraft Brewery, I suppose, and then going for goLf and a meal, or either or, we're going to take you to our secret training room and boardroom here and tour the offices of CCI, I suppose, right here in the city of Greater Calgary, Strathmore base. So, you'll want to spend a half a day with us for sure, maybe even a little bit more, up to, well, we can figure that out, because it's a starting point, and this is how we now are not just entertaining our customers, I suppose, but establishing business point of view right here for going forward, because we're doing the long haul. This ain't no one snap thing. So anyways, that's that, and I just want to go with that and leave you there, and you have a good day thinking about that. And it's summer. Summer's wrapping up, maybe. We got a couple more months of good harvest, like a late summer fall. And, those thrush mufflers on these vehicles, it reminds me of motorboats, and they did that specifically. And isn't that interesting? The amount of thought and technology just to go into an emotional joy that we can have. It feels like summer around town when you're working, I suppose. When you're not even at the lake, you almost feel like you are. And that's the joy of our society. There's a lot here. We're a big deal. And CCI is part of that in our own plain way. No, it's not that simple anymore, is it? You got to do the dog today and the king tomorrow. No, you can try to do the best you can, and both, I suppose, in your new way, right? But we're all about your finest and making you look good in the customer's eyes. So we want to make you feel important, and you spend a day with us, I suppose, and we take concern. Nobody's gonna leave in a state they shouldn't be. Everybody's gonna know where they're at, and we'll talk that through, and we're clear about what we want to do. So you come on out and enjoy that. And this is a short 15-minute video, so often we're double that or even up to an hour. So just want to touch base about our process and our way of doing business. This is our system now, so be sure to plug in, and we honor that. And we take, we've got an 800 client list, and there's a special few that have already signed with us, verbal agreements and formal, and we're up towards 21 by now, I suppose. Going to break that 22 number, my favorite number, probably very soon. as we get the next deal negotiated. With Kyle, it might have happened actually this summer because he was looking at a canoe trip, team building with his clientele and customers and some of his staff few, and going to take a trip of a dozen or maybe 10 up to northern Saskatchewan. It didn't happen with COVID. There's a backpacking trip this fall. I'm still not pushing it that hard. There's a lot of tentativeness out there, so we go with caution. But we are looking forward to the training room in October and December, roughly in there. We've pre-scheduled some dates. And our first deal with Hitachi is coming together here. And we should have the down payment here before too long in the next month. You know, I was going to say week, but everything seems to take longer, hey? And I don't know what that is. There's always errors and miscommunication. Technology, we're all so plugged in, yet we cannot be. So that's what we're up to. And, you know, in these COVID times, I like to think of, well, I look around. It's like everybody's a nurse now, eh? They all got these masks on when they're serving you. It's kind of almost healthy. I like to feel like I'm the doctor. The good health guy? Well, yeah, not necessarily, but partly. But we're big business here, and it takes a lot of faith and belief in yourself. And you should go down and review on my YouTube timeline, if you will, as an option that, hey, dude, listen big, the review on Christ and your belief and just the whole eternity focus, you know, because it is the big picture. Life is here and then it ends, but it's just quick when you pass through into the next dimension, and then you keep building your millions and billions of dollars and your family, I suppose, the pros of that, all your good friends, and they're all with you forever and ever. So that's where we're at. Now, listen to that Randy Travis song on the way home, if you will, and go with that forever and ever. Amen. Bern May here, Connections Consulting.